Welcome to Imperfect Helping Hands, the podcast where we embrace our imperfections, lift each other up, and inspire one another on this shared journey of growth.
My name is Seth Rubin from NetworkLehighValley.com. Today is the first ever Imperfect Helping Hands podcast with Lisa MacDonald. Lisa, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, I am so excited about this podcast, Imperfect Helping Hands. My name is Lisa MacDonald. I'm an abstract motivational artist where I'm a motivational speaker, an artist, a life coach, and an author.
Now, since podcasting is a big step in another direction for you, what made you want to do a podcast?
I wanted to do a podcast because I have so much to say about my arts, all the things I've done over the years, and I feel like the podcast is a really big hit nowadays, and I just think that is a way for me to get my message across and have the community and actually worldwide to have people know what Imperfection is Beautiful is all about.
It's a big thing to be worldwide, to get your message out there,
Yes.
To drive like your message of imperfection is all right.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
How did you come up with that statement? Like, what made Lisa MacDonald say, I'm gonna say it's all right to be imperfect?
Wow. The Imperfection is Beautiful, Love Your Imperfection logo really came out as a starting part when I struggled so much in school. I had a hard time making friends. I mess up my words. I have a hard time learning. I struggle so much and everything was just imperfect. Everything I do, I trip, I fall. It just kept going and on. And I still, as an adult, be very clumsy. And, I'm tired of trying to be perfect. I'm trying to fit the society, what they expect you to be. And I'm like, you know what? We're humans. We're made to be different. And it's okay to be imperfect. So I decided to start this brand back in 2017. And my art has helped me bring this special awareness out. This painting right here, right next to me, is what it all started back in 2017. And it has made such a tremendous change in my life. And then this one's a digital logo here. So I just want to continue spreading that awareness and let people know, like, imperfection is beautiful.
So what inspired you to start your very own business, Imperfection is Beautiful?
Well, since with all my struggles of, everyday life of being a student and in school and college and all that, I had a hard time making friends, and I felt like art was the only thing that made me feel accepted and doesn't judge me based on who I am. So after just creating this painting, Imperfection is Beautiful, and all my works of art, I remember my brothers always told me, hey, post your art on Facebook, post your art on Instagram and all that. And I was just like, I don't know. But once I post my pictures and stuff, people were really into it. So I was like, you know what? I want to get out there as an artist. And I found out, okay, if I need to get out there as an artist and sell my paintings, I got to have a business. So I decided to brand it and call it Imperfection is Beautiful. And from that, it just has been so amazing. So much changes I have gone through and everything. So
what steps did you take to start Imperfection is Beautiful?
I first created a Facebook group page, Facebook business page, Imperfection is Beautiful. Then I went to Instagram, then I went to YouTube, and then so on. I started doing that, trying to gain more audience into what I do and let them know I do videos, I do live videos, I post images of my paintings, and slowly I just, kept showing up. I do a lot of vending events, art shows, getting involved in that, and let people know about Imperfection is Beautiful and all the different works of arts. So yeah.
You definitely keep yourself busy.
Yes.
With different events,
Yes.
Trying to get your brand out there, trying to get your name out there.
Mm-hmm.
What advice do you have for a young, inspiring artist that is trying to start up, especially here in the Lehigh Valley?
It is very difficult here in Lehigh Valley, I'm not going to lie, to be an artist. I feel like you have to be in like very artsy areas to be, accepted. What advice I would give is constantly network, meet people, because these people will help you get out places and will take you somewhere that you didn't even expect to be in, and you're here. So it's an amazing journey. As an artist, I do incorporate arts in different different things, such as merchandise, bags, books, what else? Like so many different things. I even put in my brochures, I put it in my website, just trying to showcase my work of art and how my work of art has a message and has a meaning for something. So
yeah, fashion has definitely played a big role in what you do.
Yes.
And the way that you've been able to do your mental health runway shows, your different sales that you've done with your merchandise, your artwork, being on your merchandise, and then incorporating that into your runway shows.
Yes.
It's very different.
Yes.
Unique. How did you come up with that idea? Was that something that you thought of?
A funny story. I was just messing around and I was hanging out with one friend. We were in an art show and I was like, wouldn't it be so cool if just hold my painting and do like a runway? I've done modeling since I was 12 years old and I loved the runway. That was like my favorite thing. The runway and photo shoot was my favorite thing in the modeling school that I went in. However, I wasn't really into the rules, regulations. I was like, I could do my own way. I don't like the strictness of you have to look like this, you have to make up like this, you got to look like that. Like it's like too restriction. I like to embrace my beauty and my humanity and myself and the natural beauty I have. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do my own thing. And the whole painting, walking in the runway, I was like, that's a cool idea. So once I have an idea, I go for it. I'm a go-getter and I'm like, let's go, let's do this. So I hosted a mental health awareness runway show back in 2022. It was crazy. I had vendors, I had speakers. It was a small show, but it was about 50 people attending. I believe I had 10 models, and these models wore my merchandise and held a painting that kind of represents themselves, and they got an opportunity to speak about their story of any mental health challenges they went through. This was a great opportunity for Imperfection is Beautiful, and also a great opportunity for individuals who've gone through difficult times in their lives when it comes to mental health. So it was like a win-win, and I absolutely loved it when I did it.
And now you're incorporating the mental health runway show into giving back to the community.
Yes. I now felt like nonprofits definitely need help with fundraising, and I've decided, why not incorporate mental health awareness runway show into different mental health related nonprofits and work together, fundraise. Let's do an event together. I'll have my merchandise. I'll connect with other designers and other artists and have like the runway show work from there. And it would be a great way to embrace the community, the stories, and unite together and also raise money for those who are in need.
Your sense of community is great. Mm-hmm. It's just something that's very inspiring. You've reached out to nonprofits and you've worked a lot with nonprofits around the area and around even throughout Pennsylvania. What made you do that? Like what drove you to be a nonprofit advocate?
I love the mission of everything they are doing for the people who are in a vulnerable situation, and I can feel like I know where they're coming from in certain ways, because I had been feeling vulnerable, getting bullied, discriminated, sexual harassment. Like I felt like that vulnerability, like just didn't have a voice, just didn't feel like I belong in this world because of how I was treated over the years. And I want Imperfection is Beautiful to be involved with the nonprofits because we all have this mission to make a difference. And I want to be that like guide, that mentor for those who may feel like they don't have a voice, and to give them a hand and say, hey, yes, you do. You have a story that needs to be like heard and known, because there's people out there who may be struggling the same thing as you are, and they may not know how to get out of it. And, you know, I feel like if we speak up more about our stories and not feel shame over imperfections, our world would be a better place to be, and it would be more like loving and acceptance and rainbows and unicorns. Just going on and on. I just want the best for our community, and that's why I really want to stick and connected with the nonprofits.
Which is where Imperfection is beautiful comes into play, because everything you do is beautiful in many ways. Helping the community is beautiful.
Yes. Yes.
What organizations have you helped so far?
I helped Battleborn, Selfa Lehigh Valley, Promise Neighborhoods. Oh my goodness. I am trying to think. I have a list over here. 6th Street Shelter. I helped Girl Scouts, Oak Street Health, Phoebe. Some of them are nonprofit, some of them are for-profit. But I'm always up for, you know, helping anybody who needs a hand and needs some guidance, and, you know, giving them a very inspirational story and motivation to just lift them up and make them feel like, hey, we're humans and it's okay to be imperfect.
Recently, you did a wonderful event with people that had recently lost their children. Would you like to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I was hired to be in a retreat in Jersey, first time out of the state. Yes, I want Imperfection is Beautiful to be like all over the United States. That would be awesome. And I've always wanted to do a retreat for women specifically. I had 15 women I worked with, and we'd done a kintsugi workshop. Mind you, these women are women who were mothers who recently lost their child due to suicide and alcohol or drug overdose. And they were so funny, and like they had some stories they talked about, but then they just, you know, were very, you know, have a great sense of humor. They were very powerful women. And we were working on kintsugi. So kintsugi is a Japanese art tradition where you have a ceramic bowl or item and it's broken, and they go and pick up the pieces and put it back together. It's a way to symbolize that, yes, they have gone through so much in their lives, but by picking up the pieces and putting it back together, you're creating a whole new person. Even if there's imperfections in it, you are strong and wiser because you've overcome the battle that you've been through. And this workshop is great for anybody, honestly. I've done it with veterans, which was another goal of mine that I've always wanted to work with veterans, and it was a great turnout too. But yeah, these women, they really enjoy their time, and they were just very lovely and very strong women. So I'm looking forward to doing more retreats and just continue helping up women for sure.
Absolutely. And
yeah,
just that's amazing you were able to do that.
Yeah.
And I know you continue to look to do things like that with other people, do more workshops, help more people out, and motivate people through your artwork. So your artwork is just, you know, very eclectic, very abstract, very revealing of what you've been through in your life. What was your very first piece of artwork?
Oh, my first is this one that I started my business with. Imperfection is Beautiful. It actually glows in the dark too.
Very nice.
It's pretty cool. But the first painting, it's hard to say because I've done so much over the years. I've drawn so many horses. I'm obsessed with horses. But I can't really like say what is my first painting because I painted so much. I kind of like lost track which one was my first one. Because sometimes I give rid of them or I donate them, and you know, so, but my paintings, are like my motivators. They help me have a voice to speak up and let people know about my story. I used to be very ashamed to speak up about anything because I have a struggle of speaking English. I am bilingual, so I speak Spanish and English. I just felt like I didn't want to speak because I'm afraid like what's going to come out of my mouth. I had to go to speech therapy, ESL, like all my years of being in school, and I just didn't have that I didn't have that drive in me. But when I paint, I feel that strong warrior inside me, and it made me feel like I need to speak up. I need to speak up about my story and what I've gone through and just continue painting. And every painting I paint has a story behind it. And it makes me want to like show it off and let people know about each painting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Such great artwork. And later we're going to have a chance to look at some of your artwork in your book. But when did you discover art, and why do you enjoy art so much?
I discovered art when I was, I believe, 6 or 7 years old. Definitely a little girl. Like I said, I've been struggling with school, and art was the only thing that was there for me to comfort me with the different challenges and everything. I love doing arts and crafts. So like, if you go to Walmart, you get like that, you see that box of arts and crafts, and you have like all these cool ideas in this box. I was so big with it. My parents gave it to me. It was addicting. Like I will be so busy for hours, and my parents were happy. They're like, oh, she's occupied. She's good. I will have so much time just being by myself working on these crafts projects. But I started liking to draw. Then I moved towards like oil pastel. Then later I moved towards painting, and painting is like what really got me. Like I just love the flow of painting. I love everything about it. And I love my abstract style because I feel like I don't want to stick with realism. I don't want to stick with something that people normally see every day in their life. I want to do something that people would like look and be like, wow, that's pretty good looking. Like, that's really cool. Like, I like the way that looks. I like to give people something that it's not usually known to see. And I like to use broken jewelry, sand, puffy paint, just different materials. I like to challenge myself as an artist.
I've commented a lot about different pieces, and every time I see a new piece, I go, that's my new favorite. It's because because your artwork is so different. Mm-hmm. You could say it's your new favorite because every piece you paint is different. What's your favorite piece of all time that you've painted?
I would say my warrior horse, because I'm obsessed with horses. That picture, that painting, I actually framed it. I went to Hobby Lobby. I'm like, I want this frame. And I see it so like, when I look at my paintings, I see it like so lifelike. Like I can see it coming out of the canvas, and I could see it like being real, like right in front of me. And I remember, I'm laughing about it. It's kind of sad, but I'm laughing about it. I was invited to, Baum School of Art. They have their exhibition event, and I was invited, and I put my warrior horse in there. When I saw my warrior horse out in like public and hanging in front of everybody else's art, I was like, this is such a great opportunity. I'm excited. The guy looked at me, this older man looked at me and laughed. He laughed at me because I was so excited about my painting, and he looked at my painting and even laughed more. I was like, okay, just because your painting is boring and real doesn't mean you have to be judgmental. This is why I have issues with people sometimes, because they're so judgmental. You don't know what this piece does for me. Right. I call it warrior horse because I was going through so much depression and so much anxiety in my life, and I thought like painting that, it lifted me up. I could see that horse speaking to me and telling me that you're a warrior, you can go through this, you can fight through. And every time I see it, if I'm working out, I look at it, I'm like, you know how people work out and they look in the mirror? I work out and I look at that horse. I'm like, yeah, that's going to be me. I'm going to be that warrior horse. Yeah. So I just have such a different perspective when it comes to, going through challenges and seeing the other side of things.
That painting.
And that paintings, yeah.
It inspires you, even though it's your own painting.
Yeah.
You painted a painting that actually inspires you.
Yes.
Most people get inspired and then they paint. You get inspired by the paintings you create.
And it gives me a voice.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
Which is so nice.
Yeah.
Horses in general, you're a different person when you're around horses.
I know. I get so emotional and I get like so childish. I just have, they have such a subtle energy in them that makes me like, I just want that. I just want to have that subtleness and that peaceness, if that's even a word.
It is now.
It's my word. It's that freedom that I love. And seeing them run, oh, forget about it. If they're running, I will cry. It's just that way. But yeah, they're everything to me. You know how people have a favorite animal? Well, that's my favorite animal.
Yeah. Horses. Sure. And I know you get to see them whenever you can.
Yes.
Whenever you want, you can go to different places and go see horses, which is lovely.
Yes.
You have a couple different places you'd love to go.
Yes.
And a couple horses that you love to see. You'd like to see Noctis and Armani and everybody else that, out on the farm. And it's great to be able to see those and be able to see them whenever you want, which is great.
Shout out to Blue Moon Equestrian.
Every week you put out a Motivational Monday.
Mm-hmm.
What made you start Motivational Monday? What made you decide that was something that you wanted to do to help everybody else in the community?
I start that. I have a TikTok. It's Motivational Life Coach. Check it out. I work on creating motivational videos, short clips of just daily life challenges we may face. It could be stress. It could be having a difficult time at work, how to manage stress, or what kind of coping skills you need when you're going through A through Z type of things. It's a lot of different little like life things that we go through that we're not really taught on how to manage it through. And I like to speak about my story and be like, hey, I'm sorry. I'm going through this day. I'm having a hard day. But you know what I did? I did this, this, and this. It's a way to let others know that, hey, just because I'm a speaker and just because I'm an artist and I'm out there and I'm a life coach, I struggle too. We're all humans and we're all here to help each other. And I like to just express that as, authentically and passionately so others know that it's okay.
Sure is.
Yes.
Sure is.
Yes.
So what made you become a motivational speaker?
My art. My art gives me the voice to speak up and to, again, like letting people know that you are beautiful, you are amazing as you are. And as a speaker, I want to let people know that there are days that we struggle and we just go in a deep, dark hole that we may not know how to get out. And with my works of art, I like to bring them with me in different speaking engagements and let others know that, hey, like, we're all going through tough times and it's okay. We just need to learn how to navigate these difficult times. So a lot of the topics I do speak about is how to go through difficult times by having a strong mindset, how to appreciate your imperfections, and then also speak about my story about different imperfections that I've gone through, like bullying, discrimination, learning disability, all those things. And I tell them, like, yeah, these are the challenges I went through. This is what I've done to overcome it. And here are my paintings that represent the situations I've been through. And it just kind of gives people a visualization of, like, what was it like when I went through that situation? And now that I have a voice, I can speak up about it and say, it's in that painting. It's not me anymore. And it's a really cool, unique experience that I have developed. And I like to see it as a unique way for people to view as a motivational speaker. Like, oh, a motivational speaker that brings paintings? What is that? And I also like to bring different documents so people can engage while I'm speaking. They can answer questions and do some self-reflection questions. It's a way to just have them think deeper about themselves.
Absolutely. Strong person.
Yeah.
You've taken things that you've been through in your life and you're able to pass that back through your paintings, your artwork, and through your book, which we're going to spend some time talking about now.
Oh, yes.
So
yes.
Painting the Path of My Life.
Painting the Path of My Life.
What a book. What an amazing book. It's very powerful. The messages in there. I've had the pleasure of reading it. And I love the stories that are in there. The stories are real. The stories are all things that Lisa has been through. And the covers, we're just going to start with the cover right away. And we're just going to talk about what inspired this cover.
I just had a vision. I was like, this is what I want. I told my good friend, Mike Robinson, who's a photographer, to follow this image. And I was so happy that there was a blue couch at the time when we went to the studio. I was like, this is perfect because it's my business color. My business color is blue and orange, which is exciting that this podcast space is blue and orange.
It's meant to be.
It's meant to be, right? So the cover, it was just an idea. I brainstorm a lot and I have a notebook of all my ideas. I'm like, this is what I want, front and center, with myself sitting down with my nice polka dot 50 styles dress, right? And I kind of wanted to look kind of, like imperfect in a way. You know how the dress is just a little off and the one dress is on my knee on the other side. It's just like something that is very authentic, but very beautiful in its own special way. And I wanted to include the original painting of Imperfection is Beautiful that I started back in 2017 and in a digital form, which, by the way, my beautiful, wonderful friend, Crystal, she is the graphic designer behind this. And if it wasn't for her, I don't think I would go anywhere. This Imperfection is Beautiful logo is hand-drawn from her. And I want to give her all the credit because she doesn't know how special she is to me. So I'm beyond blessed for her creativity. Same thing with the title, Painting the Path of My Life. I had this idea. She came up with the style that matches with my logo, and it just came out so wonderful. I was so teared up when I first opened the box and saw the cover. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And then on the back cover is a picture of me kind of laying down with the leaves with my paintings, like my main paintings where there's a warrior horse. That's the best painting I painted.
That support system. So who are some other people in your life that have supported you and drive you and are part of what you do every day?
Well, obviously you, Seth Rubin out here. Seth Rubin of Network Lehigh Valley. You've been such a huge supporter of Imperfection is Beautiful, and along with Zane and other people. Tim is definitely a great supporter who owns Steel Pixel Studio. Thankful for him for having me here in this special space. There's so many people out here in Lehigh Valley are very supportive and helping me keep going and just not give up on my mission. Sometimes I do feel like I want to give up because it could get very frustrating, but I always find a way.
You do.
When there is a will, there is a way. Is that? Yeah, that's one of the quotes.
Exactly. That's the quote.
That is the quote.
That is the statement.
Quote, yes. When there is a will, there's a way. Yeah, I actually have that quote on my El Tri-C graduation hat. When I graduated there, I wanted to write a quote, and that just came up. Just things come up out of my mind, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do this. I have such a powerful personality and mindset where if things don't work out, where I'm feeling upset, the next day I'm like, all right, plan B, here we go. Let's go. I'm ready. This is the change. This is what I'm going to do. There's times I say, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm done. I'm done with this. But then I'm like, you know what? No, I'm not done, but I'm going to do it in a different way. I'm I'm going to have a different way of doing this stuff. And then that's how the podcast came through. Things weren't working out in the beginning.
Yes.
And then I'm like, you know what? People are telling me, especially Zane, hey, create a podcast. And look at here.
Here we are.
Here we are.
Talking about everything Lisa MacDonald.
Yep.
Everything Imperfection is beautiful.
Yes.
Right now we're talking about painting the path of my life. We went a little sidetrack, but we're going back to painting the path of my life.
Yeah.
So why did you decide to write the book?
Things, my art has a story behind it. And I felt like it was hard for me to explain every painting I painted. And I was like, you know what? No, I'm going to write a story about each painting and bring it up into a book. So I started this book idea back in 2018. I stopped, sometimes we procrastinate and we just like, I don't think we're going to do it. But I had a mission in 2024. I'm going to complete it. And it did. I did. I had a set goal. I had a team behind me. That was the best thing. Having a team behind you helps you keep moving, especially my publisher, Jennifer Bright. She really kept me moving. I was very grateful because I didn't think I could be able to continue motivating myself to write. Writing is such a hard thing for me. And I felt like I didn't believe that I could write a book because of writing being such an issue for me. But having a publisher and editor, it was so nice. Really cleaned out the errors, the grammar. Grammar is always a problem for me. It was very nice to have that done and showed me that, you know what, no matter what my weaknesses are, you have people to help fill that gap and help make things happen. So having a team is so important if you want to create something big. And this is a big thing. And I don't even know if I answered your question, but
you definitely did.
Okay.
You definitely did. What kind of stories are in the book?
So some of the stories are challenges I faced during school, learning, my learning disability. I went through bullying. I talked a lot about my life as an artist, my transition in my career, defeating tough time, discrimination, and so much more. I wanted to be vulnerable in my book because I want to let people know that it's okay to have issues and it's okay to talk about it, and don't be ashamed of your story. Be proud of it because you are more wiser and stronger than you were before. I've never been in these issues or these challenges. I don't think I would be here speaking to you about this book. This book wouldn't even exist. My art wouldn't come out easily because my challenges are so unique and in a way for people to embrace and understand that, it's okay. Like we all got challenges and we need to talk about it.
Absolutely. And your book is also unique because in your book, there's a piece of artwork associated with every single story. Mm-hmm. How did that come to be?
So when I face a challenge or I face a success time, I like to express it. But again, words are hard for me to find and express it. So I have it visually, in my mind, and I visually put it into a painting. Then the words come out of the paintings, help me make the story, help me make the words. So it's a great, beautiful way for me to not use words and then, create a beautiful piece and then words will come out. It's a unique way of my way my brain works, I guess, as an artist. We're visuals.
A group of special needs people, you were able to do a project with them. Mm-hmm. And every day you get to work with people with special needs. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You have such a passion for it. Mm. What makes you want to continue to work and what inspires you to help them?
They're so special. They're special human beings that I believe that we all should take a moment to listen to them and acknowledge what they say. They have such positive perspective on our world, and they just want to feel accepted and loving. I love working with them because they teach me a lot of things. And I feel comfortable in working with them because I can understand them. I understand their processing. I understand their quirkiness, and some awkwardness. And I could be awkward too. Sometimes I say things and I'm like, oops, I don't mean to say those things. But I want to show that they have a voice. I want to say that you too can do this. If I can write a book, you can write a book. And working with them, what I notice, and it's not just them, it's other people too, is that they don't feel comfortable in learning about themselves and understanding who they are, their weaknesses, their strengths, how they cope with difficult times. They didn't want to talk about it. They didn't want to go over that. And with the project we were doing, the activity we were doing, we were talking about different 3 skills, life skills, coping skills, self-discovery skills, and time management skills. And it was hard for them. And I told them, it's okay. It's supposed to be hard. You know why? Because we're not taught. We're not taught enough of learning these 3 main skills for our lives. This is what I taught myself. I've done my own research. Because I wanted to better myself. I struggle in learning. And I felt like, well, if school is not going to help me, I'm going to help myself. I gained so much respect and love for myself because of my works of art and what my works of art done for me and transformed my life to own this business. Imperfection is beautiful. And I want to let these individuals, special individuals, know that you can do anything you possibly do. Just that you just need that strong mindset, that positive mindset, and you can make it. You can make things happen. Doesn't matter if you have autism, you have learning disability, dyslexia, Down syndrome. You can do it. You just have to keep pushing. It may take long. Trust me. You got to learn how to have patience, but it may take long. But what's important is you not giving up.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So we've learned a lot about you today.
Mm-hmm.
We've learned about how you're an artist, an author, a life coach, a motivational speaker. We know that you have a very big passion around helping the community.
Mm-hmm.
People can find a lot more out about you on imperfectionisbeautiful.life. Your website has a lot of information on it. What made you start the website? What made you put that information out there?
Just to spread awareness of Imperfection is Beautiful. I have services, life coaching, programs such as self-love program, and also a youth enrichment program that organizations, schools can hire me to provide. I have my motivational life coaching services, which is self-discovery, coping, and time management skills. I also have more information about the Mental Health Awareness Runway show if you're interested. Any nonprofit would like to collaborate with me. Also, we'll have my motivational speaking engagements. I include different themes I focus on. So much more. You can sign up for my newsletter, and my newsletter has more information of like tips on different life coaching, like tips I like to bring out. Also, my motivational videos, upcoming events, and just much more. Passing the love of imperfections.
And now we're starting a brand new journey with the Imperfect Helping Hands podcast.
Yes, here we are, and you're listening to it right now. Been listening to it.
It's coming to an end.
Yes.
And I'd like to talk about the upcoming. What else can people find on Imperfect Helping Hands? What topics are you going to cover? What kind of guests are you looking for?
Well, any guests who have overcome specific life challenges. Could be family issues, finances, stress, anxiety, depression, all sorts of mental illness, relationship issues, and much more. I will be posting specific topics for every month on a Google form, and people can sign up. I heard there is a line already.
There's a line already.
And I just started this podcast. It's just crazy to me. So I'm going to have that set. I'm going to post it on my website. I'm going to have a tab with Imperfect Helping Hands so people can access it and learn more about this podcast. This podcast will be on Spotify, YouTube, all sorts of things. So that's going to be exciting too. But yeah, it's all great things. And not only I'm here to motivate others, I do believe that others have a story that can motivate people who may currently going through a situation in their life. And I know podcast is becoming a big thing for people to listen through. So I felt like, let me get started because I got a lot to say.
You sure do.
Yes.
Every single week, people can find you on LinkedIn, YouTube, on networklehighvalley.com, blogs.
Yep.
Everywhere. You're everywhere. And you inspire many people.
I'm on Google.
And now you're going to inspire the world. So we're looking forward to the next podcast. And thank you very much for letting me interview you for your very first podcast.
Oh, thank you, Seth. You've been very supportive, and I appreciate you being in this journey with me. As all this years I've been doing this stuff on my own, and I've noticed that you can't do these things on your own. When you have a business and you want to create something big, you have to have a team behind you. And I'm very lucky to have you and Tim as part of my team. So
thank you.
Yes.
Very happy to be part of your team.
Thank you.
Looking forward to seeing you expand and go on the next journey and be there by your side to help you out wherever this world takes you.
Yep.
So.
Yes. Thank you for tuning into Imperfect Helping Hands. Remember, it's our imperfection that makes us stronger. Let's continue to support, motivate, and grow together. Be sure to subscribe, leave us a review, and join us next month for more topics on how to embrace your imperfections.